Well, thank you for coming along. In this Parliament House tomorrow we've got an important meeting, and it's called the Council of Australian Governments meeting, when all the premiers and chief ministers come here, and the important thing we will be talking about tomorrow, amongst a list of important things, but very important to you and to our nation's future, is new school funding and improving your schools. So it's good to see you here today to give us lots of energy as we go into those discussions tomorrow.
If we're serious about lifting overall performance and addressing underachievement, we need funding reform consistent with the principles of the Gonski Review. On Sunday, we witnessed an historic moment, an educationally significant moment. The Prime Minister announced an offer to each state and territory premier and chief minister for a new funding system. A new funding system which for the first time would deliver funding to address disadvantage. A new funding system which for the first time would reflect the distribution of disadvantage across our schools. Public schools, which educate the overwhelming majority of students from disadvantaged backgrounds, would clearly be the greatest beneficiaries of this additional funding. $14.5 billion. In making the offer, the Prime Minister announced that the Commonwealth will be prepared to fund $2 for each $1 required by the state.
But if you're going to step up to the plate and show leadership, then you need to step up and make those tough decisions. I've done that for the government, for the nation, in the federal budget. It's not too much to ask premiers and chief ministers to show the same kind of leadership as they manage their own budgets. I think everyone, wherever you live in our nation, has got an interest in being able to say about our nation that every child in every school is getting a good education, and that schools around the country have the resources to do so. These things are the architecture of the system, the big things that we have announced, are the things that we want for our schools, because we know they're right. I mean, this is the end point of 5 years of very patient, very careful work.
This is about securing the future of every child, but securing our future as a nation as a whole with respect to ensuring our future productivity and prosperity. It's time for change. The time for talk is over. Premiers must sign up for Gonski reform.
We're going to be a fair society. Are we going to condemn some kids because we weren't prepared to educate them properly to a life of welfare and despondency? Are we prepared to see a weaker national economy for the long term because we didn't properly educate our children? These are big questions that require people to answer with really true to the heart answers. I will be wanting the premiers and chief ministers to focus on our kids' future and making sure that they've all got a properly resourced school, not just now but for generations to come. So we will be focused on that. We will be saying to them it's time to sign up and get this done, particularly now we've put a 2-for-1 funding offer on the table. But what I'm also going to be able to tell them, having been here today, is if they leave tomorrow not having signed, then anywhere they go in their home state or territory, they are going to see people holding signs, holding hands, holding banners, wearing t-shirts, telling them that our kids are worth it. Absolutely. And it's time to sign up.